Welcome back. Today's day 3 of my journey, um, and I regret to inform everyone that today it was a red day. Today I didn't stick to mainly disciplined. Um, I overtraded and I held too long. I held my loser too long, and I went from a really high performing day to a red day. And let's walk through some of what happened today. We'll start at the beginning when things were going well. So the first trade I took was on DCX. Um, News hit. It jumped up from $1.64 all the way to $2.34. Sold off, and again we had another red candle, but right when it popped up on my scanner, the volume was pretty low. So these first 3 candles, I was kind of just watching it and waiting for volume to come in. And then right around this third candle here, this green candles, is where I really started looking at the buy. So let me bring up the 10-second chart. Uh, and I bought at 721. Let me see. 721.05. All right, so I bought this 9 EMA bounce right here. You know, when the volume was low, like none of these lines were being respected. So I kind of stayed away from it here. But when volume really started coming in, we see people, respecting the 9 EMA. So when it hit the 21 and came back up um, to the 9, I bought here. I held this for about 45 seconds. So as it's riding the 9 EMA, I sold it on this candle here for about a 30-cent gain. Right, so I basically played a pullback. I rid the momentum up. My stop loss was going to be here down at the 21 EMA, kind of about where I bought it. And then I ended up selling it up here on this candle. It was enough profit, and if you look at, what happened in the near term, it did, the reversal. I did see the reversal coming. I didn't film this one, but then the next one I will show the footage of. Okay. The next trade I took was on INMD. Let's pull up the video on that. Alright, so this is a video. It launches up. This very first candle, just as soon as the news hits, it's usually just bots and algorithms. It's like certain keywords in the headline gets hit, and like a bunch of bots just spy it up, and then the humans step in and they start buying, and that's kind of where we want to start trading it. So right now I'm kind of watching the price action. I'm watching the volume. It's still kind of low. Like this candle only has 200,000 shares. And I'm just watching it go. And then we got a really big, like, volume was really pushing into the stock right now. Although we do have the candle wick, the top of the candle wick right here, forming. So I was waiting for a pullback. So this is actually exactly what I was waiting for. I was waiting for a pullback and then for support to show itself. And when I saw saw the price rising with increasing volume, kind of the two coinciding together, that was a buy signal for me. So I'm writing this out. I'd like to say that that was my stop loss where my mouse is, where if it goes down below that, I'm going to sell. And this thing, it wasn't having the momentum that I hoped it would. I was hoping that it would push up faster than this and I'd be able to get in and out. So this whole time I got my finger on the trigger to sell, and I'm pretty sure I sell it here any second. And I'm like, all right, I'm only up, 3 or 4 cents, no big deal. I take a 7-cent win. Well, I sold it when it was up 7 cents, but there was some 3 cents of slippage right there. So I'm up 4 cents, and I'm looking to see if we got to find another support level. And the stock, sold off. There's taking profits. People at the top are selling to, protect their position. And the stock gets really pushed down to the 9. It gets pushed down to the 9. It gets pushed down to the 21. We have actually more selling pressure, and that's where I cut it. When we have a larger red candle than we have on this rise up, I think like about a 50% retrace is where the move is usually done. Let's look at what happened. INMB. Yeah, and this, if you look, this was a 50% retrace right here. On the next candle, this next 1 minute candle, it went below. It went right on the day, and then it just traded below. It traded below the 200 EMA, and now we touched VWAP. Even into the open, it's just kind of chopping right around VWAP. So I got out of it right when everyone else got out of it, and that's great. And you may see that I'm up $3, but I'm going to explain that in a little bit. It's not because I made good trades. It's not. There's a saying in trading where you can lose money on the good trades, but you can also make money on bad trades, and that's what happened today. I made money on a bad trade, and that's why I'm saying today is a red day, because the strategy that I used to be profitable, I broke it down. I broke it. I revenge traded, and I upped my size. Usually after a loss, you want to decrease your size, and I did the exact opposite. I upped my size, and I was just determined to make back the money I lost. Let's look at KUST. That was my next trade. 255. We're gonna zoom in here. 255. Alright, so this stock just hits my scanner, and I'm waiting for volume to come in. These candle wicks are, they're not great. So I bought here and then I sold on VWAP. So what happens? I actually just lost there. I lost about 20 cents. I set my stop loss to VWAP. It pulsed up and then pulsed down past VWAP, and because of this candle right before it, I sold and got out. Because look what happened. Yeah, you could have held it, but holding and hoping is not a good strategy. If a trade is turning against you, you have to get out and just accept the loss and know you can get back in if your setup materializes again. So I keep watching it. It kind of bases out over the next minute and a half. I think it would be beneficial for people to kind of see this play out, because again, when you look at the stock, like a static stock of what happened historically, it's not the same as watching these candles form. Like, the candles can be very deceptive. So what I'm actually looking for is this resistance level, this supply level up here at $1.95. So I kind of want to see this level get broken and then like a support to form at or above that level. So we hit the 1940. That there was a support right there, kind of above the level, and it's pushing higher. I take a quick scalp and get out, and now I'm up 22 cents on the day. So that was about a 20 or 30 cent gain, considering I had just lost. I had just lost on the trade moments earlier. So then in if a minute or two, I'm gonna make another trade on this, maybe in 3 minutes. Oh, 2 minutes actually. I'm looking at the timestamp. So this is a very extended move. Like VWAP is, it's about 50, 60 cents away. Where is it? No, it's about 30 cents away, but still a 30-cent loss is not good risk to reward. It could push higher, but I'm waiting for a new level of support to form. And the bottom of this candle might be support. Let's see how this plays out. Like, I'm kind of watching the volume, and I'm watching the candles, and the side of my view, I'm looking at time and sales. After a big move like this, when you see kind of a red candle on lower volume, that can be like a healthy sign that the stock has more momentum if it doesn't just knife down right away. So it looks like we're forming a base right here at this candle low, and I'm looking to see where the volume is going to push it. I think I'm about to buy in here in just a second. Yeah, as this thing bases out, it's showing support. It's not knifing. It's holding this level of demand right here at around 230. So what we're looking for in these trades is we want to buy stocks that are above VWAP. The MACD is not on this chart, but I do like to buy it when the MACD is open. You can't really use it because it's a lagging indicator. What it means is to use it as a buy and sell signal itself. So volume started to push. It jumped up a few cents. I bought and I sold it. I held it for maybe 5 seconds there. Now I'm gonna make in 1 minute. I'm gonna make one last trade on this symbol. But the MACD, yeah, oftentimes it's like the MACD is only helpful as confirmation of a move. It really helps identify when a move is slowing down. But you can't just watch the MACD and buy every crossover. It's not going to get you anywhere. Yeah, I'm kind of by seeing that the move is almost over on this thing. The last few candles have had these big topping tails. It's not pushing as high anymore. So if I buy in again, it's going to be just a quick in and out. Yeah, so I bought, it showed support. It had increasing volume with a rising price, and then I sold it again really quickly for about a 10-cent gain, and we're up about 43 cents on the day at this point, which, in one share, it's great. It's a good gain. If that's 1,000 shares, it's $430. It's definitely doable. And that was the last trade I took on this symbol. And then I should have quit. I should have stepped away and said, been happy with the profits I made and just been done. but I didn't do that. I was fatigued, and this was right at 8 o'clock, and right around 8 o'clock, in a bunch of news, like 3 or 4 stocks all had news. My scanner was going bing, 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 and I just clinged on to one. I don't have the video. Well, actually, maybe I do. Let's see. Yeah, IQST. I don't think this is it. No. This is not the video. Well, regardless, let's just pull up the chart then. Alright, MIMI popped up on my scanner. So this is kind of the move I was looking at. I'm going to pull it up on the 10-second as well so we can get some... Try to figure out what I was thinking here. So I made my first... I took my first buy order. It was right at $5 at 8:13.06. So I bought in this candle right at $5. So as you notice, kind of the high on this thing was the high really was 501. So I bought this thing at its peak. So let's see here. This is a 10-second chart. So I bought on this candle. As you see, this candle had high volume at one point, right? It was the highest volume of the day. So I bought in. It did go up, you know, based out a little bit. And then as it came down to the 9 EMA, I held. I didn't sell. It blew through the 9 EMA, and I made one of the biggest mistakes in trading that you can make, is I averaged down. I bought the 21 EMA. So now I'm in this thing for 2 shares. It jumps up to the 9. It touches the 9 EMA. I buy another share. Sinks back down to the 21 EMA. I buy another share. I'm in for 3 shares. It hits the 9. Moves sideways. I think I buy another share. In total, I bought 5 shares. So my strategy of buying 1 share absolutely, you know, went out the window. I think I was just fatigued and tired, and I was upset that the 43 cents I made on the day went red, and I was just determined to make that money back, and that is an absolute red flag. I should have accepted that that I was wrong. This was a bad call, buying it here at the top. I mean, with the increased volume and the price moving up, that wasn't a horrible trade. But I just didn't accept. I could not accept that I had lost. And then this candle right here, it's like as it broke through the 9 EMA, I was kind of in shock, just like, wow. And I couldn't accept a loss. So I averaged down. And then my loss of 1 share, like 2 shares, is doubled. So now I'm losing more and more and more. And I think I was down about $1. So all of the gains I made over the last few days I had lost with being undisciplined and breaking all the rules that I know I should not have done. I think what ended up happening later in the day, I bought in around here. Again, I bought way more shares than I should. I needed to make the money back. And that's what I mean. Like, I made money on a bad strategy. Like, this isn't the first move. This is continuation, and that's just not my strategy. So I broke the strategy, I broke the share size, and yeah, I'm up $3.24. the price action was clean, right? You know, we're supporting off of the 200, support off of the 21 and the 9, right? Move sideways, people are respecting the 9 EMA, jumped up, so sure, this worked, but it's not in my playbook. I don't know what I'm doing. I should have just accepted the loss, made the money back over the next few days with solid strategy and discipline, and the way that I got back to green, it was not the right way. I hope you guys can learn from my mistakes. This was as far as my, moving up from going from 1 share to 10 shares, that was 1 step forward. 1 step forward yesterday, 1 step forward the day before, and now 5 steps back. I cannot have days like this mentally, regardless of me ending the day green. I cannot do this. So hopefully tomorrow I can stick to my plan and just know that there are going to be days where I make a good trade and that good trade loses money. That is going to happen, and it will happen, and it happens to everyone. Even the best traders making $1 million, they lose money on good trades, and so will I. I will make money on good trades, and I will lose money on good trades, but where people will blow up their account is doing what I did today. It may have worked today, but say that I had bought back there, I had oversized, and it went the opposite direction, I could have blown up my account. I know I'm only trading with $20, but still, say I lost that $20, the only way for me to trade the next day would be to, get out of one of my index funds. I would have had to sold a share of SPYM if I wanted to trade tomorrow. Had that gone wrong. So hopefully this was informative and entertaining. Watching someone just absolutely go off the rails, and why. But I got to be transparent here, or making this blog is it's pointless if I'm not transparent and honest. I can't grow if I cannot accept my mistakes, and and learn from them and change. So this is Brian signing off.